On stage, a tech story. Concept and script, Srikumar Ertani. Voice, Lakshmi Srikumar. Lyrics written by Verghese Anthony and sung by Srija Sri. Produced by Broadband Publishers and Literary Agents. On stage is a tech story, a new art form, an innovation by Srikumar Ertani. It uses text as multimedia to enhance the effect of storytelling. It is often teamwork. This story, for example, has a poem in the background. The poem is written by Mr. Verghese Anthony and sung by Mrs. Srija Sri. On stage, a tech story. The hall is full of people. My husband would have been very happy to see this. He is one of Mom's big fans. He has asked me to record it all for him. I check my phone's charge. 30%. Good. Mom will only be singing for 5 minutes. It is a very short poem. I have never seen such a crowd before when Mom sings. The function is a book release. Some minister is releasing Verghese Anthony's poetry collection. And we have been waiting for him for an hour now. My mother has insisted that I record it and send it to my dad. Dad is just a number in my contact list. I don't remember him much. The noise of people conversing is building up in the hall. It is difficult to sing on an open stage. When the voice rises, the pitch also rises on its own. It's hard for Mom. I didn't want to think what would be the consequences. An announcement came over the speaker. Someone has parked a car too close to the gate. I listened to the details, not my car. It's only been a week since I bought the car. After 6 months, the job was confirmed last week. I was too eagerly waiting to buy a car. I had offered to drive Mom to the town hall, but Mom won't listen. She said she would come by bus. She would not be allowed to go back by bus, should insist on dropping her. This was a familiar scene at home. The bus is a luxury for me. I'm used to walking, Mother would explain. Should I walk on all fours since that is what I am used to? I would ask. The program started. The minister hasn't come yet. There were a few speakers on stage. Mom looked pretty in her yellow sari and olive green blouse. Mom kept smiling at me. There's a lot of nervousness in that smile. There has always been a lot hiding behind that smile. When I was studying at a music college, one holiday, Mom requested me to take her to my college. I asked her what was there to see on a holiday. Immediately, Mom withdrew her request. She is like that. She would change her mind immediately if she felt that she had put someone at an inconvenience. It was after a lot of insistence that Mom agreed to come to college that day. She walked through the veranda of the college and looked at every pillar and post. When Mom didn't return, I searched for her and found her sitting on the steps of the old music hall. She was crying, but she didn't admit it. The minister arrived and released the book. Other speakers took their turn. An uncle spoke at length introducing the book. Anyone can write a story or a poem. If you have the voice to sing, you can sing. If you practice for a few years, you can become a dancer or a painter. But for art to be great, experience is essential. A heart that has gone through it all is the sea of that experience. All of us here know what our poet has been going through after his dismissal from service. Another speaker supported him when his turn came. There is no other reason why the poems of this poet resonate in the hearts of the readers. Pain is not something that can be learned from books. Hearing all that, I looked at my mother and made sure she too had got a copy. I decided to read at least one or two of the poems in it. By now, Dinesh and the kids must have reached home after tennis. People in the audience and on the stage are feeling restless. The hall is also very warm. Finally, they called Mom to recite a poem from the book. Mom took the mic from the stand and thanked the speaker. Then she put the mic away and coughed a little. She is looking at me now. There is no smile on her face now.
മഞ്ഞുകാലം പുതച്ചു നിന്നൊരു മഞ്ഞമന്ദാരമാണു ഞാൻ. കണ്ണടച്ചു തുറന്ന നേരം ഞാൻ കണ്ടു ഗ്രീഷ്മമൻ ചുറ്റിലും. കാറ്റു വന്നു കവർന്നുവോ.
Mom is singing in her melodious voice. It is a magical voice. The whole hall was silent. Her powerful voice is filling up the hall. Some people loitering outside ran in to see who it was. I still remember those stormy nights where our little hut would sway in the wind in a rhythm totally different from the lullabies my mom would continue singing. Several young men were recording Mom's song on their mobiles. I felt so proud. I wanted to tell those men that her daughter was right here, right behind them. Her life experiences are ingrained in her singing. There is a subtle strain of emotion on every note she renders. I once asked what was the saddest experience she ever had. She smiled. Then she laughed as if she invented a prank to play on me. She always warns me before she pulls my leg. Oh, my saddest experience? Well, it is seeing a brand new steel vessel. I was puzzled. What did she mean? Did she mean she was jealous since she never had that luxury? The story she told me was even more bitter. The previous evening, her father had taken away every vessel and utensil in their home and sold them to the scrap collector to buy a drink. The family had no vessel to cook their evening food. Her mother went to the neighbor's home. A lady teacher there gave her an old vessel which didn't look very clean. On her way back, her mother went to a stream and washed it thoroughly, rubbing it with sand. Her father staggered by laughing at her mother. That night, they cooked some rice. Even the salt jar had been sold. She found it hard even to put a morsel of rice in her mouth. Her mother told her not to worry, since they were there for each other. Suddenly, the rice became a delicacy. The next day, on my way to school, I went to the neighbor's home to thank them for the vessel they had offered. Their dog was on the porch and it was eating from a brand new vessel. I passed out. I held my breath. The song was getting louder and more emotional as it reached the last lines. Mom's face is glistening with sweat. Her eyes are sparkling with the thought of a good job well done.
കാറ്റു വന്നു കവർന്നുവോ നോമ്പു നോറ്റെടുത്ത കിനാക്കളെ. വേനലായി നീറുമോർമ്മയായി മമ നെഞ്ചിലെ പൊൻകിനാക്കളും.
Mom stops singing and wipes her face with a handkerchief. Non-stop clapping. Mom bowed her head with a big smile and thanked the audience. She turned her head to glance at me. Was she pointing out to me the accolades she was getting? No, no way. She would be feeling bad. Her eyes had not been on me for a few minutes. Such a caring person. The audience thinned out. Mom came down from the stage with a bouquet in her hand, an envelope placed like a bookmark in the collection of poems. A not so heavy check for sure, but a check all the same. If she offered it to me, I will take it, just to make her feel happy and avoid a fight. My mother called me closer to the podium and introduced me to everyone. I remember the author and one of the speakers. They had come to invite Mom to sing in this program while I was there to visit her. She told them to give the chance to me. She insisted and I sang. The poet said he would prefer not so young a voice. Finally, Mom had to agree. The poet said, "Even if you get a job, don't give up singing. I'm sure you have inherited your mother's skills." Mom smiled. She likes classical music. She doesn't like melody and poetry. The speaker who had come with the poet to Mom's house came over. "Hey, little one, how are you? You too sang well that day. I didn't get to compliment you then since I was in a hurry. But singing a poem calls for more emotional expression. It comes from what you go through. Ask our poet. He is so good at it. So is your mom. You can learn all that from her." "Sure, I'll give it a try." When I was with my mother in the car, I felt that I shouldn't have given them such a false hope. I was not going to try. It won't work. The way this pretty woman in yellow and green brought me up, I will not have that emotional expressiveness in my voice. I took my left hand from the steering wheel, lifted my mom's hand, and placed it on my right cheek. So warm and so cold at once. Is mom still humming it? Or is it me?
ഞാൻ കണ്ടു ഗ്രീഷ്മമൻ ചുറ്റിലും കാറ്റു വന്നു കവർന്നുവോ നോമ്പു നോറ്റെടുത്ത കിനാക്കളെ വേനലായി നീറുമോർമ്മയായി മാമ നെഞ്ചിലെ പൊൻകിനാക്കളും.
Concept and script Srikumar Ertani. Voice Lakshmi Srikumar. Lyrics written by Verghese Anthony and sung by Srija Sri. Produced by Broadband Publishers and Literary Agents.